Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, melanated, beautiful people. It's your girl, Straight No Chaser with the Queen, and I'm in the building. Grand Rising for all y'all that's waiting. Brandon Cruisings. I always probably say your name wrong. I'm bad with words. Bevelyn Carway, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. So we here in the building, and I want to talk about the American prison system. Let's talk about modern day slavery. Let's talk about it. I got net. These drain nets just don't stop. Let's talk about the prison system. Grand Rising, everyone. So come on in the building. I'm about to play something for you. Let me share my screen a little bit right here. One moment. Get Grand Rising. And I'm going to share something with y'all while I'm looking. I guess it's not working. It's telling me select the tab. Hold on. I'm going to show you this. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowances 76 allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that may otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, personal tips, the balance in favor of fair use. Now that we got that out the way. One moment. Trying to get back to my screen. Grand Rising, everyone. Hello, Grand Rising. I want to play something before we get started so we can talk about the prison system. I played that because I want you to listen to this. This is off of Rashad Singleton's Facebook page. Hold on. See.
United States. But they constitute 75% of prison admissions.
Do I need to play that again? Hold on. Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. Curly Girl, Woke One, Valerie Ward, Black Love. Did you hear that? For y'all that's coming in, we're going to talk about modern day slavery. We're going to talk about what's really going on with us. Our missing black men, our missing black women. Grand Rising, Lillian Parker, Love JJ 1814. What it was saying here is that Missouri is not the only prison system with inhumane conditions. Let's talk about Alabama, Louisiana, Texas. Just because they're in prison, does every prisoner deserve to be in the same prison? How can we say we have a justice system that doesn't categorize who's to be punished? You missed the audio part. Let me play it again. When it stop, I'm going to play it again. Because we have to understand that they have came through the back door of slavery. The unjust is raining down unjustness on our people. 75% of us are behind their prisons while they walk and roam free and still get to change history, change CRT. And we dealing with the people that look like us, that's robbing us, that's not helping us. We're dealing with BS. We're dealing with people who want to sell you classes that's not helping you. Why don't these people teach us how to fight against a system that is incarcerating us in the name of private prisons? I'm supposed to have some prisoners calling me. My son wanted them. They're sitting in prison with murderers. So they're not only being punished for little crimes, now they got to look behind their back and they're risking their lives every day. Every day. They're risking their lives just to stay alive to come home. So why should a prisoner who only committed selling drugs, nonviolent crimes, be locked up with murderers just so that white people can profit off of these for-profit prisons? See, they don't want to teach you what goes on behind closed doors because out of sight, out of mind. They get to do what the hell they want. Just like they erase history and they get to do what the hell they want. And we keep allowing they predators called cops in uniforms to run around in our neighborhoods just so that they can harass me and you, people who look like me and you, so that they can fill their prisons. And then they're making one guy said he made $150 million a year off of private prisons, and they won't put in air conditioners. They won't feed them right. Every prisoner does not deserve to be treated like a rapist or a murderer or a child murderer. They got you saying the war on drugs and this and that. They mixing up all types of crime that they're creating just so that you can be okay with people being locked away. And they not even just being punished. You are being punished too. Because my son and the people in prison say that they get forgotten about. Because it's so hard on the outside too. You ain't got enough money to pay your bills on the outside. So how you going to send your people, your loved ones, money on the inside? Telephone calls, soap, deodorant. They still got to live and basically pay rent. And then the government is selling them on the stock market. Look it up. The government is selling them on the stock market. So they have already put us back on their stock market because we were the first commodities on the stock market. These evil, wicked, palm-colored, rice-colored people have came in the back door of slavery, and they are still doing what slavery was doing, making money off of black bodies. I want to play this for you again for y'all that just came in the room. And understand, every prisoner doesn't need to be punished the same way. But long as we keep allowing them to get so-called justice, our people are going to keep doing that. That's right. The whole prison system. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars off of us. Some of my people are in there for selling weed, and they are sitting out here being legalized drug dealers. Every time you turn around, there's a dispensary and a marijuana. The doctors or the middleman. Grand Rising Light. The doctors are now the new drug dealers. The pharmacists is the drug pushers. and the U.S. is collecting the money. Remember what I said in my other video? All the banks are the same people. So there's no different banks out here. All the money is being funneled to one place. That's the 1%. And some of these rich black folks are part of the 1%. And all they're doing is collecting stuff just like the white people. And they're not helping their people. Nobody sees it as a problem, because long as you keep looking at yourself as criminals, they criminalize your everyday habits so that they can fill us in prisons while letting themselves go, while letting themselves get away with hate crimes. They give each other executive orders, those that can call on the name white, the Asians and all them. But yet they will beat us and kill us and do all types of stuff and debate on each other, with each other, on whether it's a hate crime. Let me play this again for you. Where's all the black dispensaries? Well, they make sure that if you have a drug offense, you can't open a dispensary. Like, who is them to say what's right, what's ethical? Enough is enough. Trying to see if you can get the light. The temperatures get up to 100 degrees. My son said they don't even give them ice water, they give them hot water. I told them they give you hot water because your body will go in shock if they give you cold water. These people won't even put air conditioning. My son ain't robbed, raped, or killed nobody, but he in there with murderers. All because the prison system need to be filled. We just woke up one day, he was in prison.
Half of them are African Americans. America has 1/20th of the world's population, but 1/5 of the world's prisoners. 1 in every 8 prisoners in the world is an African American. This is modern slavery. African Americans commit 12% of the nonviolent drug offenses
12
in the United States.
Nonviolent.
But they constitute 75% of prison admissions.
And we commit 12%. That means everybody else, Asians and whites, commit 90-something%, 80-something% of the crimes. But in prison, 75% of the prisons are filled with us, nonviolent. And then in all of that, so that these white companies can continue to make money, they pack them in there. And they don't care. Grand rising to you, Robert McClendley. They don't care who is dying in there, who's being punished. Somebody like said, I just found out how to change inmate statuses as they are hostages unless they have committed murder. Exactly. Our people are being held hostage. That's why they say almost 1 million black men are missing off the streets. Why? Because they're in prison. And then my son that's calling, they put him in one of the worst prisons, even though he didn't commit one of the worst crimes. A cop jumped on him and he fought back. So they sent him to prison. Even though he ain't sold no drugs, ain't raped, ain't used no weapons or nothing. But and then he's in one of the worst prisons. He tells me all the time, I'm watching people get stabbed and killed. One guy was supposed to go home in 2 months and he's dead. How is that justice? How is the people who's nonviolent, or even if they're violent and not murdered anybody, why are they subjected to the same treatment as a child rapist? And why are the white child rapists walking out in the streets? Why is the U.S. government allowed to rape and kidnap our children under the name of justice? Remember the police officer that said he had sex with underage children because he was undercover? Look at DCS and the Department of Children's Services. They lost all these children, but they still getting paid by the government. Look at all these immigrants that's missing children because they're being sex trafficked. How do you know how much They say the sex trafficking industry is $1 billion industry. How the hell you know? How you count and where's the money going? Whose bank account? How do they know this shit? Because the ones that's putting us in prison are the ones allowing themselves that look like them, rice-colored people, or the ones that claim to be white, to go with them. And then black rich people can only sit back and collect the wealth as white and live as whites, but not go back and help their people. We're taught to let them get into prison and never look back because they shouldn't have did this. They're all a bunch of gangs. The police in America are a bunch of gang members. It's been said over and over and over again. You can Google it right now. The FBI said the KKK, white supremacists, has infiltrated all the police stations. There is no hope. But yet we keep signing up instead of building our own police departments. You know we can do that, right? We just don't have the knowledge and education because we're always running the race of America. My son's still waiting on there. We put money on his tablet because they get tablets. And the guards, you know who the most troublemaking people in the prison who's doing this is the guards. There's not enough people to work the prisons. So they allow the white boys and all them in there to make knives that they call guns so they can shank other people. So you got people who would not be dead to this day had they not been in prison for something that nobody else is going to prison for. We know the U.S. government, the CIA, planted drugs and guns into our neighborhoods, but none of them are going to jail. We know that Flint, Michigan poisoned thousands and thousands of black children with that water that they flooded them with the contaminated water, but nobody is in prison. And then when white people go to prison, they get to pick the prisons, the nice ones they go to, while they put us in prisons and in the ghetto. Same thing. How is that punishment? If you're supposed to go do your time, but the conditions are inhumane. White people are making billions of dollars, and look at how the people in prison are living. And then half the people, we can't even say that they're guilty unless, Grand Rising, Tasha Peters, we can't even say that they are guilty unless we got proof. Unless you know people who we know there's murderers and rapists out there that is undeniably a murderer and a rapist. But then you got those people that have been framed, like some of the Black Panther members and different people who have been sitting as political prisoners, and they're subjected to the streets inside the prisons. Then they're robbing us because the prisoner is not just doing time. But now the phone calls are up, the commissary, they're making money. All these white companies are making money left and right off our people. All it is slavery again. Tell me how it's not. Tell me how it's not the plantation. And you mean to tell me out of all this hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, they can't put air conditioning in prisons? In this film, you seen Guantanamo Bay has air conditioner, but the prisons in America not. Shout out to Kay Ivey, the governor of Alabama, who closed down schools, especially in the neighborhoods I was from, to take $800 million and build more prisons. Shout out to that white woman named Kay Ivey, who's the governor of Alabama. And notice there was never a black governor. Half of these states in America has never had a black person to ever be in power to make changes. Voting is not helping because one person getting in office is not helping, because the way the system is that even if you get in office, you meeting all these other racist, angry white people who won't allow change to come. And then when you sign a bill, it takes years for the bill to come into effect, except for when it benefits them. They executive order immediately. We got to stop playing this game called America and look at reality. For all of y'all that do believe in hell, all the Christians, they got your mind so occupied that only thing you need to do is praise this God they gave you, die and go to heaven against them. You not even doing nothing in the world. Your prayers is not helping. Prayers ain't help nobody. Little children are dying. You see Emmett Till? This is how I know Jesus ain't working. Emmett Till was beat and killed, and his murderers got off. And then the white woman who had the warrant, is it Carolyn whatever her name is, never was arrested, because it's not about prayer. It's about a group economics. It's about race. It's about a bunch of people who look alike and got the same ideologies working together. That's what it's about. They didn't pray for shit. They just did it. You vote, and they're showing you right now Roe versus Wade, all this stuff. All them people that voted and thought they did something in the past, when the civil rights came and they voted and they took all them beatings from the white people, it turned right around and benefited more white women than it did anybody. And then on top of it, they're reversing everything that our people in the past fought for. I keep telling you, they got us on this hamster wheel. This hamster wheel inside a cage. Carolyn Bryant. Grand Rising One Who Cares. And we don't put us first, and there's nothing wrong with it, because you can look out your door and see who put who first. When the Asians have a problem, they took it to the courts. We march and scream, and then when we march and scream, we are subjected to them mixing in our crowd, and then doing things, and then accusing us of being rioters. We keep going to their streets where we know that the police are going to be, instead of us going inside each other's houses and planning like we used to. You remember how the Black Panthers did? They had to go in the Black Panther house and they had to send an infiltrator because they didn't know what was going on the inside. See, they keep us separate on everything so that they can do what they're doing and create modern day slavery, where you're subjected to either being murdered by these pigs or being in an unjust system. You can go to prison for stealing, and you go to prison, you're subjected to the streets in prison where you might be murdered by another prisoner because you looked at them the wrong way or bumped them or walked the wrong way. The prisoners are not even safe. Everything about America is inhumane. The crimes against humanity keep stacking up. This is white and black people. I felt so sorry the other day. I was on the phone with my son because some white boy had got slapped. It's not right for no human unless you do the things that you do to go to prison. Murder, rape, especially murdering a child. I have no sympathy for you. Just go on and execute them and get them the fuck out the way, and we won't have to talk about this. It wouldn't be no inhumane conditions. It's time to put the blame where the blame is at, and that is our justice system. That is America itself. What does it say? Shamefully, never really getting any changes and being used to receiving nothing. We get nothing. It's natural to yeah. Very good point. Our black community is constantly being infiltrated, and usually by our own. That's why I said it's time to clean house. That's why I ain't say nothing about Queen Amadeus Shakur calling out Boyce Watkins and calling out Vicky Dillard. And the reason why I hold them up, because they want to hold up B1. And it is in documentation. Vicky Dillard got $2 million out the black community, only to use for her own pleasure, just like white people do. Boyce Watkins used all our videos and did everything to come up, and it did not benefit the black community. I wouldn't care, but you are not benefiting us. You're not using that money to change America. They just caught a dirty cop, a black man planting drugs on another black man who was innocent and wrong, because they want that pat on the back from Massa. Everybody ain't doing nothing but trying to please the white God. Greetings, TM number one. We need brave, fearless black organizations that's race first. We need to stop voting and just buy our politicians. That's right. Or just stop voting and walk away. Everybody black don't need to vote. The only thing everybody black need to write on the ballot is that we are for reparations and for change and for land. Give us half the United States and let us build our own. Get your racist cop out of our streets. It's time to stop being under judges who, these judges left and right. What about the judge that was caught robbing the black dude stealing his phone and calling him niggers? What about the radio stations and stuff that keep on making money off of music that say the word Negroes, but yet they can make money, and then all the white people can dance and play the song, and it's okay. It's okay. Separation. That's right. But how we gonna separate? We gotta know. Let me tell y'all something. It's an island that I've been saying that we need to get. It's $4 million. You go to the United Empires of Akibalon website. Somebody put it in the website, the www.theunitedempiresofAkibalon. Because we need to buy our own plot. Because I'm not from Africa. I might got cousins in Africa. I'm not from Jamaica. I might got my people that look like me. We're from all over the world. So right now, the people in America cannot help a big ass continent that's bigger than every continent that got black leaders, that got money, that got voices for themselves. And they have tricked you to believe that you need to rebuild Africa. Africa needs to stand up on itself. How long is the black people in America going to keep taking the whoopings and the beatings and the fightings for everybody else? And then they trick you to ship your money over there while Africa is still shipping their money to slave colonies. Africa ain't providing us a safe place. They not sending money. They ain't got no GoFundMe to send us money to get out of this mess that we call America. It's time to clean house. I love my brothers and sisters all over that look like me, but right now, my house is America right now, and America, it needs to be cleaned up. How am I going to help another group of people who got more privileges than me? The people in Africa got more freedom than you. They just choose not to use it. They still over there fighting with each other. And we sitting over here going to prison because the cops say we did it. We keep fighting a justice system that keeps showing you over and over and over and over and over again that they don't care about you because you wasn't even written in the Constitution. We ain't even fought about the Constitution being changed to make us human. We ain't even fighting that change the Constitution that only said we was emancipated and not free. The Constitution needs to be changed where you can be turned over to slavery to the government. That's where the prison system come in at. Yes, this is our home, America. Our ancestors were travelers. The world belongs to our people. But yes, this is our home and our birthright to prosper. That's right. We built these roads. We built these houses. Every time we walk out the door, when they see us create something, they steal it. I remember me and my friends used to take the razor blade, cut up our jeans, and wash them in the washing machine. And then we picked on each other. Oh, you got holes in your jeans. And now these motherfucking rice-colored people selling jeans for $800 with holes in them, and y'all buying them. Do you not see we are only here for them to rob and steal from? Let me see if I can share my screen about this prison system. Let's call out some of these companies. Let's see if I can call them out. Here goes some of these companies, private prisons. Global Tech Link. Remember that. Global Tel Link provides the phone services for about 57% of the state prisoners. Corizon, Corizon, makes $1.4 billion a year. Talking about providing health care when you see our people dying. The bail industry, the law enforcement, asset fortitude, meaning they steal your property because they say that it was bought with drug money. Let me see what else. Hold on. Billions of dollars on slavery again. It's nothing but slavery. It's no other way to call it. Everybody knows it, but what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? I'm going to make some of y'all moderators if I could. It's not even allowing me. I don't even I seen what Dane Calloway was saying, that when he was allowing comments, it was erasing replies. I thought I was crazy because YouTube and all that. The more we use platforms to free ourselves, the more they find ways to destroy our voices. Hold on. Let's see what else is up in here. Let's talk about it. Here are 6 companies that get rich off of prisoners. There are currently 2.4 million people in American prisons. The number has grown by 500%, not 10%, not 30%, 500% in the past 30 years. I wonder why. While the United States only has 5% of the world's population, it holds 25% of the world's prisoners. In 2012, 1 in every 108 adults was in prison or jail, and 1 in 28 children in the U.S. had a parent behind bars. Why do we have so many prisoners? Several corporations make huge profits. It costs an average of $23,876 annually to house a state prisoner. But they won't give you that. They'll tell you, oh, all these racist white people are saying, oh, you're spending our money on food stamps. We are doing this, you're doing that, when they get the most of the food stamps anyway, because we're in prison, remember? And we are here working. And anybody that get food stamps or Section 8 know how, as soon as you make $1, they cut you off. To save money, cash-strapped states, aka us, the taxpayers, pay companies to deal with their prisoners. Companies make money by running prisons as cheaply as possible and squeezing the prisoners in their families for money. Hold on. Hello. As a result, I'm doing a live. I'm going to call you back. Right. As a result, private prisons are a $70 billion industry, and they telling you about food stamps. Even crazier, 65% of private prison contracts are required an occupancy guarantee. That means the states must have a certain amount of prisoners, typically between 80 and 90% of occupancy, or pay companies for empty beds. Talk about bad incentives. Here's 6 companies. Global Tech Link. They charge up to $17 for a 15-minute phone call. Corazon makes $101.4 billion a year in a fake healthcare service while all these people are dying. They've been sued over 660 times for causing deaths and permanent injuries to prisoners in their care. The bail industry is arranged when someone, it can be months or weeks until their trial date. So they making money. They say that the rich person pays $100,000 and gets out of jail, eventually goes to trial and is found innocent and gets all his $100,000 back. But the poor person doesn't. So even if you go to jail and you bail out and you are found innocent, you don't never get your money back. Out of all the lawyers you have to pay and all that stuff. Bail companies also lobby for laws that encourage or force judges to set bail more than other options. Bail amounts have climbed over the last couple of years, and bail bonds are used in over 40% of felony cases. Law enforcement asset fortitude was intended to allow law enforcement to seize assets that had been used to commit a crime. So they're using that to rob us. Corrections Corporations of America, CCA, and the GEO Group, private prisons. The industry is worth $70 billion. $70 billion. You can go back and read this. The war on drugs has also created a ballooning prison population by increasing arrests for petty offenses. America has the first longest time drug offense sentences from 5 to 10 years. And we can keep going on and on and on and on and on. All it is racism. Look at it. These slave masters have changed their name to private prisons. Slave patrol is now called the police department. Senators, commissioners, mayors are now slave patrol. All of this is the system of America. There is no justice. You can't move. If you blink the wrong way, like so-called Emmett Till did, you end up dead or in prison. And they get away with it. They get to put money in their pocket. All your people that are, if you have loved ones that have been murdered or killed or raped, you're not getting justice, because at the end of the day, they're only holding them in a place so they can make money. And that is not justice. Give me a gun and let me kill back the murderer. That's justice. It shouldn't be nothing like this. They believe in nothing but corruption. And they say we're the animals. They got that wildness in their eyes when they look at you, and they'll be like, huh? Well, I don't. Billy with the magma hat. They'll be, hey, you people, you using all the stamps. Y'all are using the system. That's why we broke. We keep spending our money. No, y'all are making more money than ever. Go Google your state and Google your Supreme Court judges and go to images, and you will see it's filled with white people. Karen with the telephone, they call the police, and the police come, and the first thing they want to do is search you. Because why? Because long as they can keep saying this war on drugs and act like they're looking for drugs, even though they're the ones making them. Because we don't have no laboratories. We're not putting X and stuff on the streets. We're not flying over to Afghanistan and getting poppy seeds. The government is doing that. The cops are doing that. Then all the drugs that they find, they arrest you, put you in jail, let their buddies make millions of dollars, and then they put them same drugs and guns back on the streets. We know this. There is no justice in the American justice system. There's only slavery and white wealth. I thought prisons are supposed to be rehabilitation. You wonder why people get out of prison and then they go right back, because they're not taught anything in prison. My son said that he keeps asking for classes. They keep canceling the classes. It's so hot. They don't have the right food. The truth is they are faking these wars, creating drugs, dropping it in our communities, taking our money, funding the police to arm up against you and take away money for schools. Facts. It gives poor, dumb white men jobs. Why do most police be bullied white dudes that never had nothing? You know, they will call us dumb and uneducated because they keep education from us, because anything we put our hands to, we turn it to gold. So the police officer jobs are made to look like they're important. Here you go. The police officer jobs are made to make it look like they're important when they're uneducated and they just want to come and bully you. This is the phone from the correctional center. So I'm going to let my son tell you some stuff. So we shout out to some of the prisoners. I was giving a shout out to some of them that's following me. Here go Global Tech right here, making money off us, as you see. Hello. You fine. I'm on live right now. I just was waiting. I wanted you to just tell quick about some of the conditions. I'm finna put you on speaker.
Say that again.
Tell them about some of the conditions in Alabama in that prison.
Oh, well, the conditions in here are real hot and like dry and humid. And they usually give us an ice cooler around that they put ice in for us to stay hydrated with, but they barely come around with that. And throughout the day, everybody be hot, and there's so many people piled up in each dorm that all of the ice be done big, like gone, and you know what I'm saying, nobody has to have nothing to really keep them cool and stay hydrated. So it's really like survival in here. And then the guards don't really do much while we're in here, you know what I'm saying? They could be a fighting or a stabbing going on, and they'll probably see it, but just turn the other way like ain't nothing going on. So whoever is involved is basically trapped and can't do nothing, so they have to defend themselves. That's why there's so many people that be like scared or paranoid and be having knives and stuff.
And what you say the guards do?
They turn like they'll see something going on, but turn and act like they don't really see what's going on, like ignore the situation.
They do that because they don't want to get involved because they just want a job to make money to go pay these bills for the same people who own the prisons are putting bills in your household. Can you tell them, is there any separation from the violent and the non-violent criminals and the murderers? Do they got y'all separated?
Oh no, everybody's in the same mixture. Rapists, murderers, everybody in the same group. You know, they all, I think they had passed some kind of law or whatever where they don't tell you who got like, you know, when the AIDS was real bad and stuff, when people having like getting raped and all that type of stuff, they don't let you know who you like in population with. They're not separated. Everybody's together.
Now, do y'all think that's fair? That a person who ain't did no violent crime has to sit with rapists and murderers just to do their time even if they stole something? Is that fair to y'all?
Nah, it's not fair at all. Not to us. No.
And how long have you been looking for a piece of paper and a pen?
Since I got here, since April. I've been looking at that since April, but it's like we segregated where I'm at. So we call it the east side, which is where I'm on, and then you got the west side. The west side is technically the good side where people going to get their trade, school, and like their GED, and then they got faith-based. And it got it to where so many fences. Once you go through one fence, you might be trapped in the middle of two fences because the other gate is locked, and the officers don't let you cross over to that side at all. It's like they treat that side better. We call it like Beverly Hills and we the project. That's what we call it here.
And is there anything else? I know because we trying to be limited on what he say and stuff and everything because he don't want to start no trouble and stuff. But then you say there's a lot of people who might have had some mental health, but you've seen them get stabbed and basically die.
Yeah. There's people in here that's supposed to have like more mental health treatment because of whatever they got, like as far as like depression, PTSD, anxiety, or whatever their mental health case may be. They don't have anything in here actually working with that. And then when they like go through one of their mental breakdowns, you know, an inmate might take that wrong or whatever. And a couple of them got stabbed, beat up, got kicked out the dorm, but a few people have died. Like my first week here, like 2 people got killed, you know what I'm saying, stabbed, and one of the guys got stabbed in his sleep. So you never know what type of people mind you have in there. Then you got one person that stabbed him, probably took it the wrong way because he got a life sentence, but this guy was just going to get ready to go home within like 2 months. So now he can't even go home to his family because the guy that got life sentence don't care, and he already ready to just do something because he ain't going nowhere. So yeah, they got to do better with that, but nobody's in the CEOs, nobody in here really taking the initiative to do anything with the authority that they got. They rather sit here and harass you or get mad, and the first thing they want to do is try to take your good time so you can't go home. So,
thank you. And now, do you even supposed to be in that prison that you're in?
No, I was recommending the level 2. That's what I was recommending when you get your time. See, they tell you they'll recommend a level prison for you depending on your case or whatever your charge is. And I got recommended to a level 2, which basically is like a work release. And instead, I got sent to a level 4, which is Bibb County. This is like the 3rd worst prison in Alabama. So, yeah.
What's the nickname for that prison?
Bloody Bibb. They call it Bloody Bibb.
Now, do y'all think this is justice? Do you think that it's right for police to come arrest you? Do you think it's right for the judges to fill the prisons? Because you remember what I just read to y'all before he called. Remember I was telling y'all about that the prisons that when they build these prisons, the state is required to fill them up so they don't give a damn about you, whether you white or black. They just want to fill the prisons to make other white people rich.
Right. There's nobody in here really doing nothing about it, and most of the people in here don't have anybody on the outside really supporting them like that, so they feel like they can get away with a lot of stuff, and the people who do have people to support, like my mom, you know what I'm saying? Like when she called up here, when I got into the altercation, they see the people that actually got somebody out there looking out for them and that's there to support them. They kind of back off a little more versus the people who don't really have anything. But that's messed up because there's a lot of people in here who done had 5 years sentences, only had to do like 18 months on it. And some guard took their good time. Now they got to do damn near the whole 5-year sentence.
And some of these are black people getting behind these doors, signing up to be correctional officers and dogging out other black people in prison. Like I told that one day when after my son, girl, you'll be sitting in the corner somewhere when I get through with the ancestors, wondering where your mind went. Because I believe in sending curses back to them. That's why I told y'all it's time to clean house. Because all of us that look like us ain't for us. Some of us is just making it worse for us. It's time to separate those that's for us and those that's not for us. Because a lot of us are those correctional officers, and we are sitting here allowing it. Anything else you want to say?
No, not ready to move it. I mean, that's pretty much what's be going on in here. It's just a bunch of lost people in here. Nobody really doing nothing for them in here, and so they just do whatever they can. And you know, it's the drugs and everything real bad in here. Can't tell you how many people come out here on the stretcher because they overdose on the drugs. They have to bring them back to life. So, I mean, you got to just find something that
and the drugs are being brought in by the people. So a lot of these people are going on drugs just so they can get by the day. So they get hooked on drugs in prison so that they can get their mind off of them being in prison.
Right. And then they put stuff up in here as if they're trying to help to make you look like make you look good. But I've been trying to get into my GD class and stuff like that since I got here and still ain't been able to get it. I sent requests, try to send a letter to the warden and all that, and I ain't heard nothing. It's like almost impossible to get to the other side. Everybody want to go to Beverly Hills.
But then they don't want, see, this is what you mean. This is how it is when they're not given rehabilitation. And then you wondering, we blaming our people from getting out of prison being the same way. But behind in these prison doors, they're not helping. They're not giving the classes. They're getting all this money and stuff. The only people who benefiting is white rich men or white rich people who own these prison profit systems.
Right. And there's a lot of people that get institutionalized being in here because I'm gonna tell you, being in here, you can get your hands on that almost anything that's in that free world. You just can't see your family, you stuck here, you can't go nowhere. So when people finally get comfortable with that and they done got used to living this type of lifestyle, they come out more violent than when they came in because of the PTSD when you gotta stay up because the person you beef with might sleep 3 rats away from you. And you don't know what he gonna do if you know what I'm saying, you don't know what he's thinking. It's just, it'll have you always on edge. And so it's crazy, man. There's a lot of people in here there's a lot of good people in here too, though. Everybody ain't bad, but the way it's set up in here, it's set people up to like really fail or like lose their mind. And it make it hard here. That's why everybody in here say if you can survive in here in Bibb County or West Jefferson or Fountain anywhere, you can make it. But it's really a survival game here.
And so they can't even go to prison and do their time. They got to go in there and then learn something else. And like he said, everybody's mind ain't right. And so there's a lot of like he's seen some of his friends from the street in there. He tried to take care of them and they separated because I tried to send him something where he can. I said, help the next person while you in there. Do I not?
Yep. I done got a lot of respect from that too. You know, just simple stuff like this, cigarettes and stuff are a big deal. So a lot of people like cigarettes. Whenever, I don't be that type of person that just credit somebody if you trying to beat somebody up because they don't want they ain't gave me my little $5. That's a lot of stuff like that be happening too. So
people dying over $5.
Yeah, people getting stabbed over $5 and all type of stuff. Like it's serious. It ain't no game, for real.
So that's making the family suffer. We are all suffering. They're not in there doing time and being rehabilitated. They in there fighting for their life.
Right.
They sitting next to murderers and rapists and stuff. This is white, black, China. Have you seen an Asian person in there yet?
I seen one dude that, and I don't really think he's real Asian. I think he's like Korean or something. But nah, it's mostly blacks and him.
Thank you.
A few white people, but it's majority black.
This is slavery. This is slavery. How can they say this is justice? And then when they do crimes, they make sure that they don't send their people to these places.
Right.
This is not justice. Until we separate and build our own and police our own selves, we'll be subjected. This can be you. Didn't you wake up and then you just called me and said, "Ma, I can't talk. They sent me to prison." Thought you were supposed to be in the county?
Right. I was told that I couldn't even go to prison. I only scored out to a 1. You have to score out to at least an 8 to get actually be considered to go to prison. That's what the judge told me herself. So they denied me probation, denied me work release, but still gave me papers to fill out as if I was going to be able to get parole, or probation or anything of that matter. But when I got to court and the judge was like, "Well, I can't send him to prison because he doesn't score out. I can't send him." But then, like 2 days after that, I get woken up in the middle of the night and they shift me to prison. And so that's when I had to wait, because when I got to my first count, the phone was so long. It was so many people in there using one phone. It took me a week just to be able to call my mom and contact her to let her know where I was at. But I know how my family is. They care for me. So I knew by that time if they didn't hear from me, they was going to do their own research, which a lot of people don't got that. When you in here, you see people who really don't got that, and they break them down. Like, little baby wasn't lying when he said this will make a grown man cry. But, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't got that type of support. So that's why I appreciate y'all, everything you've been doing for me in here.
That's what, and then we said what we gonna do. We gonna try to get other prisoner ASI numbers so we can try to send stuff, because $5 make a difference in prison for life and death.
Yes, it really does. $5 make a big difference. A honey bun and nutty buddy bars make a real big difference. Real big difference.
It's a shame, and y'all out here fighting for your light bill. Y'all don't even know what's going on behind the prison doors. And then our people, if you sign up to be a correctional officer, instead of sneaking in phones and making money, sneak in honey buns and stuff, make a difference. These people fighting and killing each other over a cigarette and a honey bun.
Right.
This is real. This is not play. You want to see the number? If I can get it. It's not play. But y'all remember my other video. This is the son that was doing the drinking and stuff. And he see a whole nother world. See, it just worse and worse for us as Black people. They make sure we're locked in there. Then we don't know our identity. We don't care. We don't have no respect for each other. Left. Okay, Antoine. I'm gonna get off. Just call me back before you go to sleep. I'm gonna get off this live. Okay. I love you too. Bye. Didn't I tell you this shit real? I told you we out here in the streets for real. I got cousins I ain't seen again because they in the Alabama prison system. Because they feeling what I just read, y'all. They feeling the system with people who don't belong. He wasn't even supposed to be in prison. We looking for him. We know my son ain't called in a while, and he's like, "Mom, ain't got that long. They cut my hair. I'm in prison." This is real. That's why I don't give a fuck about what I say. I don't give a fuck about Boyce, Vicky, and none of them motherfuckers that fly Nubian Queen, because they not doing nothing to change shit. All the money we was making over at Fly Nubian Queen could have been going to the community. I take money out my pocket all the time and give it to him and tell him, look out for his friend that's slow. His friend that's slow don't got parents. Half the parents out here poor, so they can't take care of somebody in prison. It's real out here. Everybody don't deserve to have to go somewhere with so-called punishment, and they got to look over their back to see if they finna die over a honey bun or a nutty buddy or a cigarette. It is kidnapping. It's beyond kidnapping. But long as we keep letting them play this game of voting, these people come before us with these new, when the election come, F them. We need to be pulling ourselves out from the Democrats and the Republicans. Telling them we need a change, bump this system. This whole system needs an overhaul. How long we going to play this game? Asians get protection. They not even in our prisons. Who's bothering them? They have incidents that happen. This been happening to us since the white man stepped foot on this land. I felt so sorry when he told me about the dude that had mental problems and stuff, and he got stabbed up or something. Because ain't nobody else. That's where they at. That's their community. They not going to go for disrespect. And the only person that they got against each other is the other people that look like them. They don't know no better. This is what your politicians are doing. They got you struggling for your life out here in the streets, and they got them struggling for their life behind bars. You think you blame the people that's in prison, but the people that's in prison is being conditioned to the new streets in prison. We can take care of our own and punish our own. We don't need them to punish our people to make money. That's how it started in America with the Wampanoag tribe. When they came over here with the so-called Thanksgiving, what the whole trick of Thanksgiving was, they signed their rights away to enforce law. Look it up. That's how the white man got the rule over the land. When the Wampanoag chief realized that he was getting ready to punish his son, the white man said, no, you signed this away. We enforce the law now. And that's been our downfall since. But long as we cannot teach CRT or don't know our history, or we can't get to the right books, soon as we're in our learning, we are distracted. Oh, look at this, R. Kelly. Oh, look at this, Bill Cosby. Oh, look at, but we cannot say, the Emmett Till woman can't go to jail. She's old. She's old. I'm trying to read your comments. How can we get justice when there is no justice? How can you say, how can if a man raped and killed a baby and he went to prison, he's okay. He's a rapist and killer. He get to go get some more boy booty. He get to rape and kill people in prison. My son told me at the other prison, white boy done kill people, and he done kill people while he in prison. He's still alive. Is that justice? Is that justice? And the people he killing, they ain't even the murderers. Is that justice? Should America be allowed this kind of shit? The only people who need to be in prison is murderers and rapists. That's right, Keisha. Practice unity in your community. We got to get back to the Black Panther way, where we looked after each other. The Black Panthers brought free school lunches, WIC and everything, all this stuff that poor whites benefit off of. But yet you're not taught that the Black Panthers was there to help you. You're taught that the Black Panthers is a Black identity extremist group. And the KKK has yet to be held responsible for all the terrorism that they have been passing down through generations, even gave themselves a promotion, their police chiefs and everything. It keeps coming out and we act like we're shocked. Remember the white police chief that said he shot that nigger 119 times or something? How do they get to keep doing this? And then we got to wait for them to go through trial, and we got to wait for this and that. Even the white police officers that get arrested, they really don't get time. They get put in special places. Send them where they send our people. Send them where they send my son. Oh, because they get protection inside prison. They don't have to get it like they don't have to get it how they fit in like the rest of us. But we got to wait, because you know how grimy our people is. We got to wait and see what happened and fight for this fight after he get out. The prison system is a for-profit for white wealth. That's all it is. Black people don't own no private prisons. White people do. They're the new slave masters. And the senators and the commissioners and the governors are helping the slave masters by providing them slaves. And then they allow the police to come and stop and frisk you and harass you and plant drugs on you, and they keep passing laws and stuff. that is going to criminalize your normal everyday behavior. This is America. This is America. What we gonna do, United Empires of Akeeblon? Are we ready to separate? Are we ready to stand together no matter if you're a Muslim, a Jew, or this or that, whatever you are as Black people? Nation of Islam, Christian, gang, Crip, blood. Are we gonna stand together under one flag and bring all our flags together so that we can stop this corrupt system? Or are we going to keep fighting individual battles and trying to live like the white people and acting like if we make so much money, slavery is going to go away, or racism is going to go away, or if you get rich, it's going to change America? You getting your Black ass rich is not going to change nothing. It's just going to give you the ability to get with other rich people and maybe get some sense in their head. We could have been changed things with all our rich Black people, because Black people are not poor. We are $1 trillion spending industry. And all we doing is pouring our money back into a racist system that don't care. So think about that when Thanksgiving and Christmas start coming around and y'all ready to sing jingle fucking bells and all that other shit. Think about that when you sit up here and you with other white people and they want to say, oh, gee, it's the season, 'tis the season to be jolly. For what? It ain't never been damn jolly. Sometimes it's good for Black people on this side, and while that Black person suffering, it's our joy is sporadic. Stop getting on the bandwagon with them and let them face the truth. They don't want you. As soon as we start telling the truth, we are angry. We're angry Black people. Why are you so angry? Because it's the damn truth. Start facing the truth. Start walking with your head up. We get in there. Start talking to your politicians and your commissioners and stuff. Stop running with Democrats just because the majority of Black people go Democrat when they nan one of the Democrats or the Republicans did shit for us. They're infiltrated with the white supremacy on both ends. And just because we get one damn president in there, one Black president ain't changing nothing. You seen what he got. He still had the Senate, he had the Republicans and the Democrats still against him. Did nothing change. So putting a Black person in there, unless we're going to put the Black person in the whole system until we change the senators and the Supreme Court judges, ain't nothing going to change. Do me a favor. Whatever state you're in, Google Supreme Court justices, Supreme Court judges, go to images and see who represents you. See if there's any Black people. Go to the United States Supreme Court judges. Why is it a big thing to not, the one Black man that's in there, he's married to a white woman, so he's white himself. Other than that, who represents the real Black people? Who? We need to educate ourselves. Like I said, I give a shout out to Tariq Nasheed because he does bring the people together to bring education. I give a shout out to Michi because she gives affordable classes. I give a shout out to Nicole Compton because she helps us. She helped me to do the things I need to do. She educates me on a lot of stuff. Shout out to Queen Amadeus Shakur. She educates me on a lot of stuff. I shout out to Goddess Masterpiece. She educated me on some stuff when we was with Fly Nubian Queen. Let's start giving shout outs to those that are really helping. Q Butter, Zayas Institute. I don't know everybody. We got to gather our Black community together so we'll know who to go to and who is real and who's really helping, and stop looking at people who just famous just because they famous, just because they play a song that you like to dance to, just because they playing a movie that you like to see. Wakanda ain't helping us. That's the imagination unless we trying to build that shit. The Black Panther, it's good to say it. It's good to see it. Maybe we need to see it to see Black unity. That's all it's good for, but it ain't even benefiting our pockets. It's just another job for other Black people, just like all the other movies. White people are the only people that can make money off of slavery after slavery and make a movie and give you a movie and show you slavery and turn around and then ban you from learning about slavery. Like I said, we have to educate ourselves. It's time to separate. It's time to go against the prison system. If they want you to vote, you tell them to tear down 4 private prisons, and you will see crime go down. It's time for them to start rehabilitating people in prison so they can stop coming out being murderers and murderers and rapists and killers, instead of sitting up here blaming the prisoners for the conditions that they are being subjected to. They are human. If you know somebody, if somebody in your family was murdered, killed, or raped, putting him in there with other innocent people who are not murderers and rapists and killers is not justice. That's not justice. So you're not getting justice. We don't want, that's right, we don't want no damn Wakanda. We want our own communities. We want our own judges. We want our own lawyers. We want our own teachers. We want our own schools. We want our own police officers. We want our own, because y'all are corrupt. Period. I just wanted to jump on here. I'll be coming back on. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. Excuse me. Like I said, we out here in the streets for real. We real life, not up here pretending. Remember, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be blessed.